Hello and welcome to round 7 of the Aerodynamix F1 2020 League. We're here in the Gilles Villeneuve in Canada, in Montreal, which is personally my favorite track. I absolutely adore this track, and it's definitely my favorite track out of all of the tracks. But I see Perg with a 1 minute in 9.743. Just 3/10 down is Josh. Obliviate. A 10th down is Chappie, Chappie, the championship leader, and then a 10th down is Andy. Another 10th down is TS Alex. 5/10 down is Chris Hammond with an extraordinary performance last race in Baku. 2/1000 of a second down is Andre. 2/10 down is Biabo. 4/10 down is F1 Immortal, and 3/10 down is Ice One. As Leclerc, making his debut in this league, in the Alfa Romeo, just already is out, so that's quite unlucky for him. As you see, Perg on his fast lap, the provisional pole sitter. But Gilles Villeneuve, what a great venue this is. I mean, you have the Wall of Champions, which claimed many people in the past. And it's just, this track is quite difficult because on the exit of the chicanes you have to be right to the walls to get as much time as you possibly can. But you have to limit that to not crash or get a puncture or something. So let's see what kind of lap time he will do. He does not improve his time. He stays first. As Martin improves his time, and he's just 1/10 behind Perg, but Perg does such a good first lap that he cannot even best on his second lap. As we just set the telemetry. So only Shade done a medium lap run in P13. This track should be a 2-stop, soft mediums, or mediums soft. Or maybe soft mediums. It depends how comfortable you feel with the tires. So I see Andy's just given respectively space for the other drivers. Respect, as Josh Wentz gets provisional pole by almost just under 1/10. So Chris Hammond right now in P11. Well, Chris Hammond, we saw him, he's more of a Sunday boy. He's got better race pace than qualifying, bounce back in the race, and have extraordinary pace on the race, in the race. As we ride on board with Obliviate. Just breaks before around the 75-meter board. Gets a little swifty from Andre, but Andre respectively moves over because of where he is on his fast lap, as he sets the second fastest sector. I mean the fastest second sector. But it's just one chicane, the hardest out of them all. Really maximizes on the exit, but just has to be cautious to not hit the wall. The wall did take out some drivers on the wall, but does it perfectly. But what time can he set? He goes P3, provisional second row, just 0.02 of a second below Perg. Martin, well, Martin is definitely interesting. We saw him have extraordinary pace in one track, but then just not kind of there on other tracks, as we see. Well, he's got definitely a really interesting racing number. But as he gives his space for his teammate Chappie, the championship leader, let's ride on board and let's see where he ends up. Oh, as he dies on 1000 in lap. Oh, as he messes up the brake zone. And, well, that definitely messes up his lap, and now wasted one compound of tires. That was definitely not ideal. So Scooby, STU and Kieran, the only ones who still need to set time as well, as now he just drives through the grass, not having definitely a great run. Yes. Josh, the podium sitter, had P2 last race. So that was quite late reaction time on the DRS by Josh, so he definitely needs to work on that. That'll definitely lose him comp time. Well, goes through the chicane, and well does he end up. He's P6 right now, but where is he now? He stays P6, doesn't improve, and a lot of drivers we saw didn't really improve on their second run. So as it's starting to be the last runs for everyone, so Josh, I mean Perg just beats Josh by 0.3 of a second. So there's definitely a close fight between them two. But Josh, I mean, last races was a afternoon that he hopefully that he would love to forget. I mean, he had a great qualifying, had pole position, but then in the race he just all fell down, and at the end didn't even finish the race. But Baku is a difficult track, and we cannot blame drivers for mistakes on that track. You really need to be at the edge and the whole race. I see Josh is now starting his lap as he nearly misses his teammate, and that definitely loses him some time, but there'll definitely be some in-team debrief between them two. Maybe Josh will get a little mad by his teammate, which to be expected. It's definitely not ideal for his championship hopes, but his teammate Biabo, I mean 20th to 3rd was an extraordinary performance. Driver of the day by the computer or the AI, and well, amazing performance from Biabo, who qualified last, but in race he picked up the scraps. He done what he needed to do, and P3 at the end is a great result. But Josh, where does he end up? It's a very close to the wall, and he goes Will he beat Perg? No, he doesn't. He stays second, and they will definitely not have enough time for a second run. So Josh stays second and will not get pole. But so can someone beat Perg? Sklad, maybe that's the man to beat. I see someone. Maybe Sklad is the one to beat Perg. Oh, Perg retired, it says. I don't know what happened there, but now Martin is outlap, had a scruffy second row on. Oh my goodness, he just spins into the wall. Magnussen-esque thing. And well, that's definitely not gonna help his pole position chances. Well, who else is on the run? It's Gresko. So great reaction time from him, but Gresko, can Gresko knock his teammate down? Can it be a 1-2 for Ferrari? The Tifosi would definitely love that, but does Gresko have enough to make that happen? He's getting a really scruffy exit, and he stays P8, and that's well, that's definitely not ideal. And Josh on his fast lap on a medium tires, really interesting. He's feeling to he's gambling on the medium tires. He will be on the prime position. Oh, as he hits the wall, and the medium tires just is too much for him to handle. It definitely did. As you see on the icon of the wrench, the red on. He's got damage and he dies down the inside. But Perg, for the first time ever, takes pole here in Canada. As Josh Owens gets a 5-place grid penalty, and he will end up P8, and that definitely will not help his chances in the championship. Josh Owens is not having the greatest luck this past 2 races. This race and the last race. So Perg, for the Tifosis, takes pole. For his first ever pole, and he'll definitely be delighted with that. But Canada is a good place for overtaking, so you have to do a lot to hold on to a place. But Andy in the Racing Point / Aston Martin. So Andy, that's his first best ever qualifying session from him, and that's definitely a shocking qualifying, as we see Chappie down in P11 and Chris Hammond down in P14. So 3 championship contenders just didn't have the greatest qualifying. Obviously Josh Owens with the 5-place Grand Prix will end up P8, but just really shocking qualifying results here, as you see not people we're used to at the top. Well, that'll definitely throw a spanner in the works, and will make this race even more interesting. As we're just waiting for this race to load. So amazing performance. So we're just on the formation lap, and I'll run you through the grid order for the day's race. It's Perg on pole position for the first time ever, and Andy for his best ever qualifying performance. And then it's Obliviate P3, Claude in P4, P5 is Martin, Andre is in P6 after P3